The story of Scotland's second natural drink starts in New York. The first ever Iron Brew was manufactured by the Maas and Waldstein Chemicals Company in 1889. It quickly spread across America and was copied several times by other bottlers in America and the United Kingdom. Through a joint venture between A.G. Barr and Company of Glasgow and Robert Barr of Falkirk, the Iron Brew we all know and love was created. It officially launched in 1901, but sales started at least 2 years earlier, as proven by an Iron Brew advertisement from 1900. Production was halted during World War II. However, during that time, Barr registered the trademark Iron Brew. The name Iron Brew allowed them to differentiate, since during that time Iron Brew was seen as a general product category with many different suppliers, whilst the name Iron Brew allowed the company some brand identity. Furthermore, regulations now required beverages that claimed to contain iron to reach a minimum quota. The name change allowed Barr to avoid these regulations. However, that is not the only time Barr has avoided regulations. Even though Iron Brew is very tasty, it contains two very unhealthy colorings, Sunset Yellow FCF and Ponceau 4R. Sunset Yellow FCS is rumored to cause concentration issues and ADHD-like behavior in children, as well as food intolerance. According to the European Union and the World Health Organization, the maximum acceptable daily intake is 4 mg per kilo, whilst Iron Brew contains 20 mg per liter. Thus, consuming over half a can of Iron Brew per day is considered dangerous. A government restriction was proposed to 10 mg per liter. However, after lobbying from the Prime Minister of Scotland, the limit was conveniently altered to 20 mg per liter, the same amount as Iron Brew. As of March of 2020, Iron Brew still contains Sunflower Yellow FCF. In April of 2018, I visited England. In a W.H. Smith store by the King's Cross train station, I found my first Iron Brew and was hooked after the first sip. The same month, Barr had lowered the amount of sugar in Iron Brew to avoid British sugar taxes. I was so close to tasting the original recipe, and it makes me wonder, if the current Iron Brew was so tasty, how did the original one taste? Iron Brew is currently being manufactured in Cumbernauld and Forfar in Scotland and Milton Keynes in England. In Scotland, it's the most popular soft drink, competing directly with international brands like Pepsi, Coca-Cola and 7-Up. It's considered Scotland's second natural drink besides whiskey. It's licensed and manufactured in Canada and Russia, where it's quite popular. The beverage has gained quite a foothold in the Middle East, where it's imported and sold at local supermarkets. Iron Brew used to be so successful in Australia that they had their own Iron Brew production. However, due to manufacturing and bottling issues, it was later discontinued in 2009. It's now imported from the UK and can be found at larger supermarkets. This is the last bottle of Iron Brew that I own. It is in my opinion the best pop in existence, and it doesn't taste like anything else. Bottoms up!